So Manchester United to Brentford 1. Manchester United has been able to get the 3 points, in the bag, and Manchester United just need 3 more points to secure their Champions League qualification. So Manchester United actually played one of their very, very best football last night, and I'm going to, point out a few individuals, and I'm going to point out a few tactical tweaks by Micheal Carrick, even though there was a little bit of shout about the switching of the formation to the 3-man back and the reason why Carrick did that. We are going to be getting into everything in this video. So guys, let's get into this video together. So first off, we are going to start by talking about the first half. The first half was very, very great because, the team started with a lot of energy. We were constantly pressing, trying to, create turnovers. And we know that Brentford are not good in playing from the back. They had like Van der Beek and Collins at the back. These defenders are not good with, with their legs. So Manchester United was, constantly pressing, trying to create turnovers, and we were able to score 2 in the first half. But you're going to find out that in the first half, Brentford at some point, they were very, we were very open at our midfield, and I keep saying this on that Trafford that Meno and Casemiro, they are not athletic enough. So yesterday they had one of their best games together. They were really brilliant both on and off the ball. But you could realize that at some point in this first half, there was a lot of pocket spaces that was being poked by Brentford. They were constantly roaming in the pocket spaces. Damsgaard, Jason, they were constantly playing in the pocket spaces. They were constantly tearing Manchester United apart, and that was the reason for the tactical tweak in the second half. Carrick was able to take off Ahmad, put Mazraoui, switch to the 3-man back. But one of the disadvantages of playing with the 3-man back is that if you're playing with the 3-man back and then you don't have the right forwarders to help you to execute this system, or if you don't have the right players to execute this system, it is usually very hard. And that was one of the reasons why Ruben Amorim was sacked, because Manchester United constantly struggled when we were playing the 3-man back. And in the case of yesterday's game, you could see that Manchester United didn't have the forward line. I think Šeško, Mbeumo and Bruno Fernandes was at the front, and it was really hard for them to cope with the demands of the team. And you could see that second half we really dropped off, especially when Benjamin Mbeumo went off. He was constantly making runs in behind, trying to pull the Brentford defenders apart. But when he left and Mount came in, Mount was more of trying to control the ball, trying to keep the ball in the midfield, and it was really hard. But you could see that in the second half, our midfield was not constantly being exposed and overrun, and I think there was a little bit of stability in the midfield, and our defenders was constantly pushing up. So it was really, really good. So pointing at individuals, of course, I'm going to give a very big shout out to Meno, because he's becoming very defensively solid. When Meno came out of the academy, one of the issues we Manchester United fans was having with Meno was that he had to be good off the ball, and that was one of the issues he also had with Ruben Amorim, because he was really not that good off the ball. If you are really honest, but you could see that with him, mentoring of Casemiro, he has been really, really good, in terms of off the ball and on the ball. And of course, Casemiro, the man of the match, he was absolutely flawless with the ball and without the ball. He was so good, and he was able to get a goal, and he was able to use his leadership, with Collins in the 9 minutes to secure the win for Manchester United. Also Bruno Fernandes, Magnifico, he just needs one more assist to break the assist record. Bruno Fernandes was also very wonderful with the assist. He was so good, and I was just really feeling for Brentford Mbeumo, because I saw that there was a lot of times where Brentford Mbeumo made a lot of runs, but he was not spotted. But I feel that this is something that Micheal Carrick is going to work on. And also, like I always say, that I've always not liked the fact that Carrick, normally plays the 4-4-2 out of position, but I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why he's doing that. And the reason he's doing that because we don't really have the midfielders to play any other shape out of position. And the reason he's playing the 4-4-2 out of position is to try to, bring our wingers close to the central midfielders to help to cover those wide spaces and cover those pocket spaces. But in as much as that helps the midfielders to try to close those pocket spaces, it is also not good for the wingers, because they tend to drop too deep and try to lose some attacking focus. And so this is something that definitely next season, if you have like athletic midfielders that can be able to cover those wide zones on the pitch, it is going to give the attackers a lot of liberties to go front at will. But in this case, definitely we have Casemiro and Meno that definitely they are not the best when it comes to off the ball movement. So of course we try to maximize what we have. So what was Carrick looking to do in this game? So Carrick was basically looking to build up from the back, trying to attract pressure, trying to make Brentford try to press, and then we hit them, and then we try to counter, and that was how our goals actually came. I think the second goal, Manchester United were trying to build that from the back, and then Amadiolo with a sliding tackle, and then Manchester United was on the counter. So first of all, Carrick was looking to build up from the back, trying to use Casemiro as the anchor, as the press resistant player, to take the ball from Sonny Lemans and try to progress up the pitch. And then also at some point of the game, Sonny Lemans was going long. Manchester United were trying to win those second balls, particularly in the second half, and try to be proactive as much as possible. So guys, that was how Manchester United was able to defeat Brentford. Later this week I'm going to be releasing a full tactical analysis on how Manchester United was able to beat Brentford at home. But for now, let's just try to enjoy the win. So guys, I want you guys to give me your thoughts on the comment section on who you feel was the best player for Manchester United yesterday. For me, it was Uncle Cass. So I want you guys to give me your thoughts on the comment section. I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe to Tactical Travel. See you guys in my next video.